most celebrated music maverick, renowned composer and singer S.D.Burman was born as a royal prince of Tripura. His music had the flavor of his soil. Folk and classical music were always big inspirations in the way he composed numerous heart-touching songs. A big fan of football and Kishore Kumar, SD didn't like to share with anyone his stock of power. He pioneered the new theory of composing. Music first, lyrics later, and that is prudently practiced in almost all the movies we see today. His life, his work, his music, and his companions. There is so much to know about this fascinating man. So, this grueling yet intriguing task was taken hands on by columnist and national award winning authors for their first book on S.D.Burman, Anirudha Bhattacharjee and Balaji Vittal. Writing about music is their passion, and they are firm believer to dig deeper for the original research. So here they are with us with their third book on S.D.Burman, the Prince Musician.
दुखी मन मेरे सुन मेरा कहना जहाँ नहीं चैना वहाँ नहीं रहना दुखी मन मेरे.
Welcome to the show, Balaji and Anirudha. Quite a fascinating journey. First book on the son S.D.Burman, the man, the music, for which you fetched the national award, followed by Gata Rahe Mera Dil, 50 classic Hindi songs for which you received a Mammy Award, and now the Southeast Asian launch of your third book on the father, S.D.Burman. Tremendous achievement. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please tell us which all places you visit to unveil this unique history.
Look, I am from Calcutta, so the Calcutta-based stuff I did. Like, he's from Hyderabad and Bangalore, and he traveled like mostly to Delhi, Mumbai, like also Kerala, and then to Kunur, right? Additionally I traveled to Bangladesh, to Dhaka, to Comilla, also to Pakistan, Lahore.
Wow, okay.
Yes, the places we travel to do our research, like basically to like meet and interview the communities.
Yes, quite a lot of places covered. So I'm quite keen to know, with the success of previous two books, incredible reviews from the book lovers, accolades and recognition, did it all came together to make this journey much more easier? Were the doors wide open for you in terms of interviews and information, or there were some roadblocks?
Well, expectations got higher and higher from the readers, so obviously that didn't make the task any easier.
Okay.
But yes, of course, thanks to all the people who cooperated and gave the interviews and shared a lot of stuff, a lot of inside information. A big thanks to them. This book is dedicated to all of them, so they were very selfless, and including friends and well-wishers. So yes, the lot of doors did open without too much of pressure being applied on them.
Okay.
Because the more we kept discovering, we figured that there's so much more to discover.
Definitely. Okay, so when we discussed about this book, you mentioned that this book covers the history like from 1300s
Yeah.
and till 1970s. SD was busy creating musical history, and on the other hand, lot was happening in Indian politics. So does this book reflect a political backdrop, or how it influenced his music or social setup?
In a sense, it does, but the correlation is not direct.
Okay.
Okay, say for example, like SD, as you know, was a very prolific singer in Bengal up to 1951. Now, like, he shifted to Mumbai in 1944, and after shifting to Bombay, his like quota of like Bengali songs, it gradually kept like lessening.
Hmm.
And in the 51, after like he signed Devanand's Baji,
Mhm.
he was extremely preoccupied with the work over there.
Bombay. Yeah.
So for 5 years, he did not sing a single Bengali song. He came back to Calcutta to record his first Bengali song again in 1956. So that is about the changing demographic profile. The reason is huge cluster of his Bengali audience were now in East Pakistan,
Hmm.
where could be due to like trade reasons or like whatever, like Bengali songs like recorded in Kolkata did not reach them. So what we felt that his audience size had reduced.
It's quite popular that he was a bit eccentric, slightly temperamental. So beyond his music, if we talk about what intrigued you in his life journey, what you found very
He
interesting.
was very selective,
Mhm.
which is very difficult to be in the rat race of the film industry. Even when he wasn't number one, or he wasn't at the top, he always seemed to wrap himself within an aura of being very selective and choosy in what he wanted to do.
He was a prince after all.
Yeah, he was a prince after all. He could pick and choose.
Yes.
So that sort of set a precedent for people to follow, saying that, look, don't get into the rat race. Stay exclusive. The good things will come to you.
Yeah.
He stuck to that throughout, and he remained the last of the Bengali Bhadraloks.
Okay.
Yeah, he always remained an outsider,
Mhm.
and yet reached the top.
Ah.
In spite of his so-called eccentricity, he had a great sense of humor.
Humor? All right.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
And he was quite the funny guy at times.
Okay.
So during one specific recording,
Uh-huh.
he suddenly stopped it and said, 60 minutes break. 60 minutes break. And then the producer, he came running in. What?
Huh.
What 60 minutes? Mera 60 minutes?
I know, studio time.
And then he says, 60 minutes break.
Oh, nice.
Imagine
Yeah.
somebody of his stature
Yeah. So
using
interesting.
this kind of a
Uh-huh.
punning, right?
Yeah, very nice. So these are the unique things which comes out when you are doing a research.
सफल होगी तेरी आराधना काहे को रोए
Another time, he was traveling on a taxi with Salil Chaudhary.
Mhm.
And he said, look, there's a pre-condition, we'll split the fare 50-50. Now it so happened that the fare came to 50 rupees, 50 paisa. So he handed Salil 50 paisa. Ye le tera 50-50.
Oh, nice. We talk about S.D.Burman, of course, S.D.Burman comes into the picture. Panchamda assisted S.D. for the longest period of time in compositions of music. So, and it is well known, our popular perception, that R.D. was more versatile and his body of work shows that, while S.D. was more orthodox. Any thoughts, any comments?
The reason is number of films R.D. did, the number of Hindi films are 292.
Mm.
Whereas in S.D.'s case it is 88. Plus one song for another film. So what I feel that S.D. songs are also quite versatile. Somebody who could compose songs completely based on Hindustani classical. Somebody whose roots lay in folk.
Hmm.
And he was equally at ease, at least in the late 60s and the 70s with like Western forms of music too.
So he explored a lot.
Right.
All right. Let's talk about Lata Mangeshkar and Asha Bhosle. Both sisters were very important in the lives of both the Burmans. SD went on record saying, "Give me harmonium and Lata, and I will make music." So, does your book have or it has shared any equation with the Burmans or the so-called rivalry between the sisters?
Well, there's quite a lot of mention of Asha and Lata in both the books. But what we should also remember is Geeta Dutt's first big break happened with S.D.Burman.
Yes.
Right. So Geeta Dutt also played a very important role in the late 40s up till the mid 50s, including Pyasa, Devdas. A lot of classics had to do with S.D.Burman. So because of certain personal reasons, something happened and she sort of fell out of the race.
Yes.
So actually there were three voices. In fact, Asha came after Lata and Geeta.
Yes.
It was only in the mid 60s that sort of Asha started getting some prominence out there.
Yes.
But in R.D. Burman's case, clearly Lata was the preferred singer. Of course, Asha Bhosle and R.D. Burman got married in 1980, so then the equation changed. So it has been changing.
Yes.
It was a mix of personal and professional relationships. So, but in both the books we have tried to capture in terms of the changing landscape, the changing equations.
88 movies including Hindi and Bangla, and there were some quite famous movies like Guide and Abhiman, Pyasa. So it's well known that he has explored, experimented, and at the same time gave new definition to the music. So any interesting trivia you could share with us from these popular songs or movies?
Many.
A couple of them if you could share quickly.
Say for example, okay, like this we found in an interview by Kishore Kumar when like they were rehearsing Jeevan Ke Safar Mein Rahi. So like suddenly SD like jumped and said, "Stop it!"
Okay.
And the entire what? Kishore, excellent. तू ऐसा अगर गाएगा तो मेरा फिल्म जरूर हिट होगा.
So yeah, it shows the signs of a bit eccentric in a good way, in a fun way, as you said.
He used to talk like this. Kishore, तू मेरा गाना नहीं गाएगा क्या?
Wow. Any more? Anything else? From Guide. The most.
Oh, there's a complete chapter on Guide.
Yeah, oh, nice.
In
Good
fact-
to know. So there's a
in fact-
complete chapter on
You-
Guide.
you were asking-
There are 2 chapters on Guide.
Guide.
Wow.
You're asking about some political thing, right? Okay, not as in politics, but Guide, there was a lot of politics in the background.
Wow, quite interesting.
Yeah. You know, how this, award for cash and all the dirty happenings that happen behind the scene and all that.
Okay.
But then what happened is, S.D. Burman's music has stood the test of time, as has R.D. Burman.
Yeah.
Guide didn't win the Filmfare Award. Neither did Meri Surat Teri Aankhein, Poochho Na Kaise Maine Rehn Paaye The. These two, I think, missed out the Filmfare Award. Completely deserved. If you go for a popular vote, both this...
Pyasa was not even nominated.
Not even nominated.
Oh, wow.
Bandini was not even nominated.
Oh,
So
okay.
who
But
cares?
So,
in a 2006 poll conducted by Outlook, among the top 4, 2 songs were by S.D. Burman, and Guide was ranked as the best musical ever.
so there are 2 chapters to dig deeper into now.
Yes.
Okay.
Kindly
Please
read
read
the
the
Lot more
books.
masalas for the audiences,
Yeah.
basically. All right, for the readers. And when we talk about plagiarism, so yeah, there have been allegations on of plagiarism on R.D. Burman. It was expressed and addressed in your first book. And in S.D. Burman book, have you touched upon the songs which are alleged to be picked up, lifted by S.D. on insistence of Kishore Kumar for Chalti Ka Naam Gaadi? Songs like Ek Ladki Bhigi Bhagi Si, and then the other song from the other movie.
हम थे वो थी.
That one, and then Sala Main To Saaf Ban Gaya. So, anything you have touched upon?
Yeah, like a lot of such instances are there mentioned, and like not only your Angrezi Gana and all. Okay, like SD's root, it was like there in folk.
Folk,
So, like you see, folk is somewhat like universal. So folk songs, like pass on from one singer to another, from one composer to another. So like these things, at least some of them have been explicitly mentioned in the book.
Okay. So again, something very interesting to know about.
Right.
Nice. And now, since we have been talking about all three books which you have, which have been published like by readers, and you have won awards. So, as music historians, if I may say so,
No, we
what?
are just fans.
All right, let the audience decide that. So, what is next? You are going to dig deeper into any maestro in mind already?
Well, we're under contract, so.
Okay, so there is someone.
But don't worry. When the next book on music is launched, we'll come back for an interview, and we'll definitely speak to you again on
Oh,
this.
wonderful! Thank you. So
That will be rather a very violent one.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have enough to guess now, since we know it's about music maestro and there's some violent backdrop to it. Let's find out in our next interview. But thank you so much, Anirudha ji and
Thank you.
Balaji, for talking to us on our show Culture on Dimsum.
Thank
It
you.
was our
Thanks for calling
pleasure.
us. Pleasure seeing you.
He was Sachin Karta to the connoisseur of Kolkata, Burman Dada for the musicians of Bombay, S.D.Burman for the radio listeners of Bangladesh and West Bengal, and S.D.Burman for the filmy fans all over the world. He composed music that is fondly remembered and enjoyed by the audiences till today, giving us variety and at the same time not compromising on his distinct style, certainly stamps on his illustrious contribution to the Indian film industry. He was indeed the Prince musician.
Hi, this is Pooja on behalf of Swaraanubhuti. Swaraanubhuti is a non-profit initiative by Kandarpas. It is based on the concept of he for she, where Mr. Shankar Kandarpa is working for the benefit of local artists. And we are very fortunate to have these two President's Award winning authors from India, and this is the third show with them. Thank you so much. Thank you.